Welcome to the Video Lab live show, the weekly live show about video specific marketing. Now, we're going to warm this chat up right away. Let's warm this chat up. I want you to jump into the chat. I want you to say hi and let me know where you're watching from. So jump into the chat, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. That's one of my favorite parts about some of these live streams is that you can have people from all over. So let me know where you're watching from. Say hi in the chat. And I am so pumped about today's episode because I'm joined by Kim VanderPoel, owner of Fresh Impact and social media expert for part two. This is part two of video content basics. And in this episode, we're going to talk about platform specific video content and some best practices that you can start incorporating like right now. Like right after this episode, you can start incorporating these things into your content flow. And, things like Facebook. Here's a couple things. Instagram, maybe a couple best practices, those types of things. And you can find part one with Kim right here on this page that you're watching from. Now, if you are just joining, I want you to jump into the chat. I want you to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. But I also want you to put in what video platform are you posting to the most, if any. So if you are doing any type of video content right now, what platform are you posting to the most, if any? And we have Katie joining the stream, and she's joining from Sioux Falls. Welcome, Katie, to the Video Lab live show. It's good to have you here. Make sure you jump in and let me know what platform you post to the most, if any. Now, hear me out. You're going to want to stick around to the end of this episode because Kim is going to give her one thing, Kim, to take away from this entire episode. And if you don't get anything else from this conversation about the different video platforms, Kim's one thing is something you're not going to want to miss. So stick around for that. And if you don't know me, my name is Caleb, and I'm a video educator and content creator. I own Hoover Heights Media, and I've been doing small scale freelance video production since 2012 in and around Sioux Falls. I focus on social media video and video for website for my clients. I also have a YouTube channel, which is just my name, and it's very niche camera content. And I work with filmmaking brands from around the world, making video content for them. So I started the Video Lab live show as a weekly interactive live show to help companies, brands, and individuals harness the power of online video with video specific marketing tips, tricks, and trends. And this is kind of like an ongoing video marketing conference every week almost. It's like breakout sessions. This is kind of cool. So it is interactive, and that interactive part means at any point during the show, you can jump into the comments or chat if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn and bring your questions or comments about the topic we're talking about in this episode, just like Katie's doing right here. And I asked earlier, what platform do you post to the most? And Katie says TikTok. And I think we're going to go over TikTok here, Kim, in just a little bit. So I want to keep practicing this chat thing. So jump into the chat and let me know the biggest problem that you're facing right now when it comes to online video. What's the biggest problem that you're facing when it comes to online video? Now, I'm going to toss this QR code up here because we're streaming live from the Video Lab, which is a video studio for content creators in downtown Sioux Falls. If you have video content that you need to make, maybe like a podcast style video like this, or maybe just a talking head training video, something like that, check out what the Video Lab is, and you can learn more at hooverheightsmedia.com. You can learn more about the Video Lab there. Now, as always, I like to have a little disclaimer before we get into the conversation. These episodes are just to show some possibilities that you have with video, but doesn't necessarily mean everything will work like magic for you. It does require a ton of hard work and consistency and some strategy, and possibly even partnering with some professionals like Kim or myself to get the results that you hope for. Now, with that being said, how about you toss some clap emojis into the chat, and let's bring in Kim. And this guest intro is sponsored by The Breaks Coffee. Hi, Kim.
Hi. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. This is so great.
Yes.
This is part two. I'm so pumped about having part two with you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come back for part two.
Excellent. Now, we talked a little bit about what you do with Fresh Impact in part one. Can you just explain a little bit more about Fresh Impact
Sure.
and what you do there?
Sure. Yep. We are a social media management company. We either do social media management for businesses or we teach people how to do it through our Get It Done Club.
Excellent. Now, can you explain the Get It Done Club a little bit?
Yes, the Get It Done Club is like our sweet little spot right now. So
Okay.
basically, what we were seeing is that business owners needed some support and help. They either had a business, had an admin person that they expected to do social media and they had no idea what to even do, or business owners that couldn't quite afford to outsource and
Okay.
they just need to learn their brand a little bit
Yeah.
more. And so we meet, we're actually opening up a fourth time slot.
Oh,
so there's
nice.
4 different time slots
Wow.
during the week. You can come once. You can come all 4 times. I don't really
Yeah.
care how often you come.
That's amazing.
So it's basically accountability, coaching,
Okay.
training, teaching. Today we talked about Instagram bio.
Wow.
Last week we
Yep.
talked about LinkedIn profile and how to optimize
Okay.
that. Today we worked on somebody's marketing strategy, what to post.
That's so cool. And that's just like a Zoom call type
It's a
thing,
Zoom
right?
call. Yep. And then
Wow.
we also have the academy where we've got lots of trainings and
Yeah.
extra resources for them.
That is amazing. Well, Jaden right here is giving you some clap emojis here. So
Hey,
thanks, Jaden, for jumping into the chat. Do you like coffee,
I
Kim?
do.
Yeah. Do you like caffeine? Sometimes. we were actually having a conversation. Yeah, we were having a conversation about
some of us are a
caffeine.
little bit more sensitive to caffeine, but yes.
No, I hear you. Well, this segment is sponsored by the Breaks Coffee. I don't know if you can see this mug right here, but we're drinking the Breaks Coffee. And we're actually drinking the Absolute Blend from the Breaks. And you can actually purchase that online, thebreakscoffeeroasting.com. You can use this QR code, or you can go into the shop. They're open Tuesday through Sunday. They're not open on Mondays, unfortunately, today. So I can't go there after, the show's done and get some more Breaks Coffee, but they are open on Tuesday. And, the holidays are coming up too. So you might want to consider some Absolute Blend for your loved ones when it comes to gift giving. Yeah, it is really great. We brewed it right here in the studio and it smells great and it tastes great. And we're excited to be drinking that. Thank you, The Breaks, for sponsoring this segment. Now, Kim, here we go.
Awesome.
You ready for this?
I am.
We're going to be talking about video platforms and some of the best practices for those different platforms. And honestly, we're just going to break it down by platform by platform. Some of the main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, can't get into everything right now, but some of the main platforms. And here's one of the things that I think we just kind of need to point out before we actually get into these things, which I think is very intriguing, because I don't think the social media platforms and all these started this way, but really what they've turned into are video platforms.
Yes, because people tend to want to consume video. It's quick and easy.
It totally is. And like, it just boggles my mind. Like you flip on Instagram. It's just video after video after video. Yes, there are still, traditional posts, carousels, things like that, but a lot of that engagement is coming through video.
Right. That's because that's what people are used to and that's what they want.
Yeah. Okay, Facebook. Let's just jump right into this first platform.
It's so funny. Everybody's like, oh, Facebook.
Yeah.
But as we talked last time,
yeah,
Facebook is still like one of the top platforms where people are going, and video is kind of taking a real prominent spot within the Facebook feed.
What's funny is from our previous episode, I put a clip of our episode out there, and I was like, I thought this platform was dead. And that video actually got quite a bit of engagement. Maybe it was the hook. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the topic. But I think people kind of have this mindset as well. It's like, oh, I thought Facebook was dead. But
it's kind of like eating an apple. Like we all think like, oh, apples are kind of boring. There's nuance and stuff. But I think we get so used to it, kind of like coffee in the morning. Like it's so used to that. It's like Facebook's always there and everybody can post to Facebook.
Right.
And so that's where I see the challenge, even whether you're doing video or whether you're doing just content itself.
Yeah.
You need a different approach when it's business.
Right. Interesting.
Yes.
So how about like an audience? Let's talk about an audience on Facebook. Like what?
I think if you were posting and your audience was a target of a general audience, male, female, all ages, Facebook is perfect.
Okay.
Yes. Locally, the Midwest, the Sioux Falls area, Facebook is still pretty heavy. I was out in Montana a week ago, and that area too. They were very Facebook
heavy, huh?
It tends to have more groups. Like you'll have your local groups, your mom's groups, your business groups and stuff like that. So it's an easy platform for people to get on.
I know some of the groups, like even like trying to sell things. I mean, they're like, they're very, I don't know, intense groups almost, you know, like very committed.
Yes. And people know how, like almost all of us know how to post on Facebook, where I think some of the other platforms are a little bit more intimidating.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. If you have any questions about Facebook, make sure you toss those into the chat and hopefully we can, I don't know, maybe answer some of those or something. But so we're talking about Facebook. We talked about the audience a little bit. How about some of the types of content that is good for Facebook?
I think, again, Facebook is that general platform. So using short form, using longer form, as long as it pertains to the audience you're trying to reach. If you had a topic, say that you were teaching, you're doing a YouTube class, a workshop tonight. Say that you were teaching, teaching that YouTube workshop. If your audience is on Facebook watching, that you would be fine, even if it was an hour. But if you are like wanting to get people to the YouTube workshop, then maybe a quick 15, 30-second clip.
So you're saying like it can really vary on the type of content that you put out there.
Yes. You just wanted to make sure that it's interesting and pertaining to the audience that you wanted. So my audience on Fresh Impact, if I were talking about how to style my hair, they would laugh, one. And two, it's not pertaining to my audience. So they wouldn't probably be as interested.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I see what you're saying. So what kind of engagement? So if we have like, let's say we're putting this type of content out there, like what type of engagement should we be looking for or expecting, or I don't know how to put that.
Right. A lot of times it varies. We used to get a lot better engagement, but more and more people are doing video. And so they're finding that you just have that much more audience that we're all competing against. Kind of thing. So I want people to, even though people maybe don't comment or don't really respond, they're still watching. They're still watching. And so I encourage people to keep watching. You're doing a great job asking people to engage. Asking questions during it. If you do a live, chances are people are going to come back and watch it.
Gotcha. So, okay, we talked about a little bit about the types of content. So there is live on Facebook. Like we're live on Facebook right now. There's Reels. Right.
There's Reels.
Okay. So Reels are kind of like, maybe that's how, you know, Instagram, and we'll get into Instagram in a sec, but that's kind of how Instagram and Facebook kind of play together. Right. And similar type of video content.
Much more popular in Instagram than Facebook, but Facebook is trying to copy its sister.
I like that. And then just a regular kind of long form, just upload, like straight upload to Facebook.
And where we see quite a bit success sometimes is when we do Facebook ads, is video ads. Because when you start to do Facebook ads, you can start targeting. So if I wanted to do an ad for you, I could target how many people have watched the first 15 seconds of your video or the first 30 seconds or all of it. Or so that's where some of that magic happens also.
Okay. So what are some of the like analytics that we should be watching for?
You can see how long, if they're watching your show. So this is where when we do ads, is we will see if someone's watched a video. If they're only watching 25% of it, well, then is it too long? Is it too short? Is it, you know what? Or we can see where we drop them off. So if we only have people watching, 100 people are watching 25% and only one watched the full thing, well, then maybe we need to shorten our video. So it can give us a lot of information on that. So.
Okay. Analytics are kind of a tricky thing. I found on Facebook, it's just kind of understanding. I'm used to YouTube analytics, and so understanding the analytical side of Facebook, like the insights and the reach. I'm still trying to figure out how all of that kind of plays together and works. It's a work in progress. So.
Right. And you know, sometimes the analytics aren't easy to find, and and I'm most familiar with the analytics on the video ads. That's what I tend to look at
on the specific ad side of it.
Yes. Now, it gives us lots of information.
All right. We do have a question from Jaden. Jane, thanks for jumping in. What are your thoughts on using Facebook as a platform for inviting people to events? Are videos better than regular posts? I've always believed people can read much faster than watching a 1:30 video, but maybe videos are more engaging.
Again, that's a perfect question.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Jaden.
Yes. And it is testing. Test your audience.
Yeah.
I would have 2 posts and see which works
Oh,
better.
yeah.
A minute 30 video for an event, depending on what you're promoting,
Right.
might be a little bit long.
Yep.
But quick 15, 30-second
Yeah.
videos, or we're having this event come up. We're having a couple marketing events come up
Okay.
in Sioux Falls
Yeah, that's
this
right.
week. But the I Hate Marketing event, if each one of the speakers did a 15-second video,
Yep.
that would be more enticing probably maybe than just the image. But
Yeah.
I'm a reader, and so I tend
Yeah.
to read
Yep. Yep.
that's more than video. But if you want people to really connect, video is much quicker.
And I would even say, like, there's an opportunity to kind of you have that text, but then you have that video post of like, here's what to expect in this event.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
like you can kind of foreshadow what's going to be happening at that event with this video as well. So
Correct. And it's great. I mean, it's great for Facebook, but it's also good to put on the event landing page,
Yeah.
because especially if there's a financial investment, you want to know more about what the event is going to hold.
yeah, okay. Thanks, Jaden, for that question. That was a great question.
Very good.
Now, on Facebook, is there some, like, let's say you want to take Facebook video seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Are there monetization options on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I had a colleague of mine who started doing video, and then Facebook sent a message and said, "You're one of the top video creators."
Oh, no way. Sweet.
And then she received fee or payment,
Yeah.
and they would insert her videos within videos.
Wow.
Yes. So I've never done enough video to get there.
Yeah, but there are options there.
Yes,
yeah.
there are options for that. Yes.
Okay. Well, that was a great conversation about Facebook video.
One quick thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Facebook, all the platforms really love it when you natively upload.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you have a YouTube video, what we'll do is, like, this would go to normally a YouTube channel. I would download the MP4 file and then I would organically upload it to Facebook.
So it's not necessarily you're sharing a link to Facebook. You want to actually put that video, the actual file.
Yes.
Put it on Facebook.
Facebook loves it. Yes. Again, it's because you're getting, like, YouTube's great, but if we put a link to YouTube or to our website, we're taking them off the platform and they want us to stay as long as they can.
I think that's an important note, especially for all of these platforms, is like, they want you to stay on that platform as long as possible. So it's like Facebook is not going to push out a link to YouTube because they don't want you to leave Facebook.
Correct.
YouTube's the same way. They don't want you to leave YouTube. So have the video on there natively.
Yes.
And then so that keeps going on Facebook videos.
Correct.
You don't want to send them away from that platform.
Yes.
All right. That was a good conversation about Facebook video. I like that. Before we go into Instagram's going to be the next one, so stay tuned. I just want to toss this out there. I have the Video Lab video playbook. If you need any help with any type of video content, whether you're making it on your own or, just getting started on some of these things, I want to invite you to download this Video Lab video playbook. And I've got everything in here from, like, some beginning stages of, like, using your phone, or maybe some simple gear that you can get to make your videos look better. But I have stuff like this, measuring video performance that we were just talking about, some of those, engagement, reach type things, a ton of stuff in here. Strategy, building a consistent video presence, help you along those lines. If you need help getting started, this is just kind of a digital guide to help you get started. I encourage you to go download this, and this will be in the description of this video right here that you're watching. So go download the Video Lab video playbook, and there's a ton of information in here to help you get started to enhance your web presence with video. All right. On that note, Kim, let's talk about Instagram.
Awesome. Yes.
Instagram's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a newer platform, but video has really taken over Instagram for sure.
It has.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, Instagram is great if your audience is 18 to 34 and you have a visually orientated product.
Okay.
So that's where it's good. So, like, interior designers.
Yeah. Okay.
If you have a shop, restaurants,
nice.
Basically anything. But if it's video, if it's, photography, if you are a wedding venue, anything like that.
Yeah, I see that stuff all the time. in my Instagram feed.
However, I still think I hated Instagram because I was so afraid of using it.
You're fighting it.
Yeah. But 4 or 5 years ago, we started specializing more in working with interior designers, and
Okay,
they are on Instagram. So I
Yeah.
had to use it. It is I find that you can grow faster on
Oh,
Instagram.
interesting.
That it is a really good way to get feedback from people really quickly.
Yeah.
So it is if you like to interact and be social,
Right.
Instagram is a really good platform.
Instagram's the platform for you.
Yep.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the audience. Like, what about some of the type of content that would be good to put on Instagram?
Yeah. I find short form video, like your reels, are a little bit more receptive. And actually, I just listened to an expert talk last week on a training on, they were like pushing reels. Well, now it's kind of getting oversaturated again. So now they want reels and they want carousels. Like, they want us to have more of a balanced approach, which is good.
Okay.
But the reels that are really doing really well, haha.
Nice little play on words.
Are the ones that have a call to action.
Okay.
And they're usually shorter, and so the captions are what you want people to do. So you'll say, do you want to know these 3 tips on best use of video? Watch my captions. But then you have your reel short, so then people will watch it a few times. So that'll do that. And
tricky.
Then, and then you can share your short form videos to stories.
Okay.
And that works really good. And it's really good for, like, if you were to do one, you could say, I'm launching the video lab. What is one question that you have for videos? And you can have them answer those questions right on the story.
Yeah, because you can put like a little
sticker.
Yeah, a little sticker that people can like type right into.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's great.
Well, that is one thing I like about stories, is that it's a little bit more interactive. You know,
right.
And I think that's a huge thing with video right now, is like the interactive part of it.
Correct. Yes. Because definitely. So I usually look at the feed as more of like your magazine, your showroom, things like that. More of like a permanent place where people are going to come, and your stories are where you get to know your customer. So if you're thinking about launching a new product, you can ask and see if that people are even wanting it before you launch it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
so that might be a good thing to do, because maybe I should do that.
So yeah.
All right. If you have any questions about Instagram, make sure you toss those into the chat, and we can hopefully answer some of those questions about Instagram in that chat there. Now, okay, we talked a little bit about the content, short form, stories, reels. Is there any type of like engagement that we should be watching for on Instagram?
Well,
anything specific?
You want to give people something to engage with.
Okay.
So asking a question, telling them to leave a comment, anywhere that you can get them to do something.
Okay.
Where I see the challenges is, a lot of times I'll use interior designers, is they'll show this beautiful picture of this project they did, but what do you want us to do with that?
Right. Okay.
How do we want to go to the website? Do we want people to just say, hey, I love this?
I got you.
Clap your hands if you like this beautiful black sink that we probably, so getting people. So that is probably the biggest thing, is that to get that engagement, you have to ask people.
Gotcha.
To engage with it.
It's all right to ask.
Yeah. It's more than, because you yourself, if you're going through a feed and you're seeing this, and if someone says, clap your hands if you like this picture. Then they'll do it. Because you tell them to do it. But otherwise they might just keep scrolling and not do anything.
One of the things, as far as like engagement goes, a lot of people, and I've had this conversation with several people actually, especially in the art realm, that are, creatives, that they'll maybe like post a finished product, and they're like really excited about it, but there's nothing to it. There's like no engagement or anything. And so they kind of start feeling down, but what I found on Instagram is a lot of people like the process that you go through. So documenting that process to make this piece of art, that's what people are engaging with. Like document. It's almost like little mini documentaries that you make with your phone of like, this is how I got my hands dirty, making this pot or something like that. And that creates a lot more engagement, I found, than just posting something of the finished product.
Correct. There was a gal that I met in Montana, or Helena, when I did my workshop 2 weeks ago, and she is launching a sewing product sewing business. And so I started following her. And the other day I watched almost all of her videos. One time she was cutting out a pair of new pants. The other time she was showing the inside this wallet. She's like,
oh yeah,
it wasn't the finished product.
Yeah, right.
It was the actual how she was doing it or dyeing the fabric.
Yeah.
So yes.
People are eating that stuff up.
Think of Mr. Rogers in real life.
Oh,
or
that's a good way to
Reading
put it.
Rainbow. Like those shows that they were onto something.
Totally.
But now we're doing it quick 15, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know. Very quick.
Yes.
With captions.
Right. But people are curious on how things are made.
Okay. I like that. How about the use of hashtags? Is like hashtags still a big thing on Instagram?
Actually, it's not.
Really? Because that was like the thing, right?
Yes. And that's the thing that people are still like, I don't know anything about hashtags. That's probably like the number 5 question I get on Instagram. It's like, what about hashtags? So hashtags used to be like super important. It was the way things were searched. But now AI and the algorithms have gotten so smart. What's really important is that you use those keywords that you're talking about in your captions.
Yeah.
And should you still use hashtags? We still use them.
Yeah. It's probably certain things.
Right. Now the studies are probably like 7 to 15 hashtags instead of all 30. Again, it's testing. Not everything fits well.
Yeah.
And then hashtagging your brand so people can brand direction. So like for you, hashtag Video Lab, hashtag Caleb Hoover, hashtag videographer Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So you're
I see what you're saying.
Coming up with 5 brand hashtags and using those consistently more than anything.
Interesting. Okay. Hashtags. I never understood those anyway. So
I know it's a great way to search. It's a great way to find somebody. It's still important, but not as important.
Okay. One of the things that's been really big on Instagram is kind of that influencer marketing stage. What about if you have a product, is this a good place to go for really just using an influencer to almost promote your product?
Yes. Especially if the influencer has a big following.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, that's the thing. Like they know how to make the videos.
Yes. They know how to make the videos. And when you can partner with them, it's their, if you told me, hey, Kim, I do good videos, I'd like, all right. But if Joe Smith, who I trust, says Caleb makes bomb videos, who am I gonna trust more?
Yeah,
it's gonna be somebody else's. So that influencer has that impact.
I don't know if I can trust anybody that says bomb videos, though. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But...
I love it. I love it. Now, is there certain types of analytics that we should be looking at on Instagram?
Instagram analytics aren't quite as proficient as some of the other ones, but yes, if you have a professional account,
that's what I was wondering. Like, is it like a business or professional?
They have a personal, professional, and a creator account.
Oh, okay.
The creator account tends to have more fun music for reels.
Gotcha. Okay.
Most of my clients are all on the professional, so we can get some of those analytics and we can follow along.
Okay. All right. Any monetization options if you decide to start taking Instagram seriously and really going at it?
I've sponsored post or affiliate marketing.
Okay. All right. And in just a couple of weeks, we're actually going to be diving into Instagram video way in depth. I'll have Maddie Pashong on.
You're so lucky. She's one of the best.
Instagram expert. She'll be on talking about Instagram video on Instagram, and it's going to be a great episode, I think. So that's in a couple of weeks, first week of November, I believe. So make sure you check that out. I'll have the schedule up here in a little bit too. So okay. So that was Instagram. Yes. I mean, that's like, we're just hammering away right here at these platforms, these video platforms. Remember, basically all of these platforms are video platforms now.
Yes.
That is one of the things.
Yes.
Okay. Now this one, I think is one of my favorite topics to talk about, Kim. I know you know that because of our conversations, but we're going to talk about YouTube.
And you could probably just teach this. I could just go, I could go take a coffee break.
I want to, yeah. Well, we are drinking some great coffee, but I want to hear your perspective on this on YouTube. So YouTube is a big platform.
Yes.
And it's a video centric platform, always has been. As we think of kind of like, if we're going to be putting some video content on YouTube, what's some of the audience that we're kind of looking at here?
I think it's broad and diverse.
Yeah.
Like it's unlimited.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's global.
It is global. And there is almost, I would be hard pressed to find a niche area that wouldn't qualify to be on YouTube.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. It's like pockets of community all over the place.
Yes.
And that's kind of the beauty of it. Like, I have not found that same thing on any of these other platforms.
No, because when you find someone that you like, you subscribe and you get all of their stuff. And I'm going to be brutally honest.
Yep.
I'm late to the YouTube game. My clients really didn't need a whole lot of it. They weren't doing it. And so even as a personal user, but I was on the treadmill last night and I found a YouTube video and that made me even go downstairs this morning and do it because I wanted to finish my YouTube video that I was watching. So.
Oh man, that's so great.
Yes.
That's so great. Yeah, I really believe that there's an audience for anything on YouTube. And it's just a matter of if you have video content, it's just a matter of finding that audience.
Right. And speaking the same what you're speaking about, staying on topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that you can't veer a little bit, but we were canning chili last year and I wanted to learn how to can chili. So I found a canner and started following her. Now, if she would have talked to me about organizing my closet, it maybe would have been a disconnect.
Yep.
And so you want to make sure whatever your channel that you have
keep going with it
on the cameras is great. But if you were talking about how to clean your kitchen sink, I might like disconnect.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, you definitely aren't using those cameras for cleaning your sink. That is for sure. Okay, so how about the types of content that you are tossing on YouTube? I mean, obviously with all of these, there's a little bit of strategy that goes into it. And I think that's just a deeper dive that we have to take another time. But some of the types of content that you can go with on YouTube.
I think if you've got more to say, you got longer, any teaching videos, anything that is instructional, anything like that is great. YouTube shorts have come out now. I think it's kind of like the reels, like just to get people appetites whetted a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've been even doing like reviews.
Yeah.
Like there's one gentleman that I follow and he just reviews software, which I find fascinating.
Totally.
But it's cuts my learning time and he's providing a great service.
Yeah, I love it. And one of the cool things that YouTube just kind of released not too long ago is that you can actually, if you go into one of your long form videos on your phone, you can actually clip it into a short. So you can make that into a short and then you can connect that short to a long form video. So you can go back into Studio and then the YouTube Studio, kind of the behind the scenes on the platform. And then you can connect that short back to your long form video. So that's going to bring people back to that long form video, which I think I have not seen that on the other platforms as well, of like kind of connecting the shorts to the long form videos without other links and things like that. So this one, basically you take it, connect it to that long form video. It'll take them right there.
Awesome.
Seamless.
YouTube's way ahead of the game.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube, I will bring this up, Kim, now since we're talking about YouTube, but tonight at 7 p.m. I am actually hosting a free online workshop about YouTube. And I have to find my little picture here, but I'm going to toss this up. We're going to go over some YouTube basics on this workshop, and it's, YouTube grind, some of the things about the YouTube grind, master the 3 T's of YouTube, which I'm not going to give away right now. You have to come to the workshop to know what those are. Some simple video structure, simple algorithm intro things, monetization. You know what? A big thing are some emotional hurdles that you get when you're starting to post and getting serious about YouTube that you just need to deal with a little bit. And then, putting together a year 1 checklist as you start uploading to YouTube. If that is something you are interested in, if you're interested in learning more about YouTube, I encourage you to come check out this free online
what a great thing you're offering.
Workshop. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a blast. And I'm actually going to put the link in the chat right now. So as I do that, if you just want to kind of talk about a little bit about the community building aspect, we touched on it a little bit, but what are some ways to kind of build community on YouTube?
Well, I think even like you've been doing today is asking those questions and then having people leave comments and encouraging people to leave comments on YouTube. I think that's what most people don't even realize, that you can leave comments.
Yeah. Comments are huge.
Right. And educating your audience when you're giving performing or producing the video, that they should leave a comment and encouraging that.
Yeah, comments. It's all about building community
Right.
on YouTube. So any comments that you get, I mean, really, if like within that first year, like respond to every single comment that you get on the videos.
Right.
Every single one. Not only does that help kind of increase, you know, the algorithm reach of that particular video, it builds community because people are seeing like, oh, this is a real person that's making these videos.
Correct.
That's interacting.
Right.
I love it.
Yes.
What are some kind of analytic things that we should be watching for on YouTube?
And you have probably better answer to that.
Well, I'm gonna go over. You better sign up for this workshop.
I am gonna sign up for the workshop because a lot of my clients, they will start to use YouTube and they maybe put like 3 videos out there and that's all they've had for 3 years. They're not aggressive YouTube users or producers.
Yeah.
And so we are just starting to really encourage our clients to get out there and get those subscribers and be a consistent voice on their YouTubes.
Yeah. And that's huge. Consistency is huge. I mean, if like I would say I'm just gonna give a little way of free little thing that's gonna be in the workshop tonight. But consistency, like minimum, probably 1 video a week.
Okay.
Minimum. I mean, you can do more than that. It takes a lot of work, but minimum probably 1 video a week.
Yes.
That's 50 videos a year. Can you commit to 50 videos a year? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because that's a lot. That's a lot. And I did put the free online YouTube workshop in the chat on Facebook and YouTube. It'll pop in there, and you can just hit that link and go. It starts at 7 p.m. tonight, and registration is open right up until the hour mark before it starts. So it's open till 6, the registration. So come. I still have slots open for that workshop. So come check it out. Jaden is active in the chat today, Kim.
Yes,
I love
Jaden
this.
is awesome.
I love this. Okay. Jaden asked from Facebook, is there an option to watch your workshop later if that time frame doesn't work for my schedule? Jaden, here's the thing. No, because it's unlisted, but I'm going to be doing this workshop probably on a monthly basis.
Awesome.
Jaden. So this free workshop is there will be a time where you will be able to catch this workshop at some point. It is not going to be broadcast to the public. It's a registration. You'll need to, Jaden says, I love your honesty. Yep. No, it's not public. You need to register and you need to be there at that time, but I will have it in the future, probably on a monthly basis. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. That is YouTube. A quick rundown. We're just flying through these different platforms, Kim. A quick rundown of YouTube. Now let's get into LinkedIn.
Okay.
LinkedIn is a whole nother animal, I feel like.
It is. And LinkedIn is kind of the new guy on the block.
Okay.
For video. Because I'm thinking, gosh, they just allowed video the last year, maybe. I mean, it hasn't been.
Oh my.
Maybe they did a little bit before, but it's just starting to take off more. And people are starting to respond a little bit more.
I am still learning what type of content to put on LinkedIn. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. Like, I feel like I think they're called like impressions or something on there. Like I'm seeing some of, some traction and things like that with some of just kind of reposting these real type things that I do. But yeah, I'm still struggling finding the type of content for LinkedIn. So.
Okay. Well, the audience tends to be more professionals.
Okay.
And more like it's more B2B. So for you, your both of your, the video lab and the videography that you do for others would be perfect topic.
Okay.
Excuse me. Perfect topics for LinkedIn.
Okay.
You think of like if you were going to sit down and do any type of personal development within your field.
Yeah.
Any type of education.
Okay.
So typically we post almost everything the same from Facebook and Instagram to our LinkedIn platforms because you have a completely different audience. The things that I wouldn't post to LinkedIn would be if it's more like, this is what I had for lunch today.
my dancing videos.
Yes. Unless you're a professional dancer.
Yeah, true. Yep.
But LinkedIn is a great way to quickly become known as an industry expert.
Oh, okay.
So that is why you would want to post.
Content.
Yes. Yes. To show your knowledge and your skills. And even if you I encourage all the interior designers to have LinkedIn. It's not necessarily, well, one, if they're doing luxury brands, people tend to have higher income that are on LinkedIn.
Yep.
But also that if, say that you're local and Kellerland Living is looking for designer to do fall trends for 2023,
they'll be looking there.
They maybe saw your name on LinkedIn and they go, oh, that's an expert.
Yeah. Expert in the industry. Let's get them on the show.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we found the audience. Okay. Now the type of content, we talked about that a little bit, informative videos. Here's why I'm an expert type.
Yes. Educational.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How about engagement? What does this look like?
Be happy when you get engagement.
Okay.
If someone comments, respond to the comment, of course.
Yeah.
You can try to encourage engagement, but overall LinkedIn it's a social platform for businesses, so it doesn't tend to be as social.
Right. Okay. So, because I've noticed this with some of my own content, like I will, so I take this show, for example, and I split it into reels. So I get 18 reels from this episode, I know this isn't everything, but on Facebook, I'll post a reel about this and it'll be 1.3K views. Right. I will post that same reel to LinkedIn and it's 8 views.
Right. And some of it can be how many connections you have, how many followers in your second and your third connections.
Yeah.
It can be how active you're using it, LinkedIn as a strategy to begin with.
Yep.
So there's lots of factors, and that's with all the platforms.
Yeah, totally.
So,
okay.
Yes.
And I will toss this in. Next week, I actually have a LinkedIn expert coming on.
Yes.
Chuck Shaver.
Awesome.
Yeah. Chuck Shaver will be here on the show and we will be talking about everything LinkedIn. And I'm excited to go to school on that because I want to figure this platform out.
Yeah.
So.
And Chuck is great, especially if you want to use the LinkedIn platform for sales and using it for a different use than what most people think that we use.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. How about some, so networking is a big thing on LinkedIn. How can we use video for that aspect of it?
Well, when you think about networking, so if I didn't know you and I was going to go meet you, if you had a video and I watched that, I've already connected.
I gotcha. Okay.
And so that can be great.
Yeah, that's great. So almost you can also maybe answer some commonly asked questions and put those on there.
Correct.
People get to know your personality a little bit, get to build a little bit of trust. I think that's important on LinkedIn.
Yes, very much so.
Now, is there any type of analytics that we can watch while we're on LinkedIn?
I think it's very basic.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of these, unless it's YouTube, you're going to get just very basic.
Because like you said, it's still fairly new on that platform.
Right.
So
yeah.
All right. If you have any questions about LinkedIn, make sure you toss those in to the chat. We're going to talk one more thing about LinkedIn. Is that monetization? Is there any, if we decided we're just going to hammer away at LinkedIn video, is there any monetization options?
It's very, very limited. It's directly related to your lead gen.
Okay. So it would be more of an off the platform revenue stream.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's LinkedIn. That's very basic on LinkedIn. Okay, and we're going to jump into TikTok.
Okay, and I'm a little nervous on this one because we tend not to use it very much, but we do have some information about it.
I gotcha.
Personally, as our company, we don't use it a lot.
And remember, Katie
said she loves TikTok.
She's using primarily TikTok. So let's talk about this platform just a little bit. It's basically mostly a mobile version, a mobile platform to watch on, right? To interact with. What about the audience on TikTok?
Gen Zs usually.
Okay.
Younger.
Yep.
And they want short, entertaining videos.
Okay.
So
well, how about products and stuff? Is that something where I would want to put my products or services on there?
Is your audience there that's going to buy from you there? That's the question to ask. And that's a question to ask on all the platforms. We work with quite a few home care agencies.
Yep.
Now, I don't think that would be TikTok's necessarily a good platform for that. But like I was telling you with a plumber.
Yeah.
That wouldn't necessarily maybe get plumbing services, but if you're in Sioux Falls and you want to become a plumber influencer,
okay,
you could have a lot of fun with TikTok.
Okay.
And then your name would
kind of play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's possible to use it for business.
Yeah.
And some influencers have made, their millions
on
it.
Yeah, right.
But you have to be intentional, and you have to have a purpose, and you have to know why you're doing it and what you're doing it for. It's not like you could just make one video and all of a sudden be TikTok famous.
Yeah, right.
So it's got to look at where that effort is if it's worth it.
How about some of the engagement that we should be watching? Like, is there things with TikTok that we should be watching when it comes to
I think that you still have the high potential for going viral.
I would say probably the most of any platform.
Yes.
This is probably the most viral opportunity.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And people tend to be on TikTok a long time. The TikTok users are like TikTok users.
Yeah.
And they're not like Facebook and they're on there for 10 minutes and they're done, or Instagram 8 minutes.
Yeah.
They're on there for an hour at night. And so their chances of being seen are greater.
Now, one of the things I do like about TikTok from the times that I have used it, the process in which you actually make a video is very intriguing, and I think is awesome on the platform of like the kind of the backside of before you post it.
Correct.
The actual making of the video. I really like those tools that TikTok has. I mean, they have a lot
brilliant
of
when they
they've got like a ton of transitions. I mean, they've got just a bunch of different filters, things like that you can add to your video that make it really easy to actually make the video.
And I think that's what the people that are using TikTok like the most is how easy it is to make.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The TikTok videos. Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. How about some trends and things? I think a lot of actual trends actually come from TikTok and then move over to some of these other platforms.
Right. Yes. And you never know what's going to be a trend.
Yeah.
Like, remember a few years ago, one of the bucket challenge was
a trend.
Yeah. So you just never know. Hopefully your video that you do would end up being a trend.
Okay.
If it's a good one.
So it's kind of hit or miss, if, on some of those trends. How about some analytic tools that we can watch for on TikTok?
There's basic.
Okay.
The basic ones again.
Now, is there like different levels of accounts that you can have? Like you have Instagram, you have the business account or pro account, creator account. Is there different things on TikTok?
I'm thinking that there is a pro account for TikTok, but I'm not for sure because you don't have anybody using it.
Okay. All right. I think there definitely are some monetization. I mean, I've seen plenty of monetization options with TikTok.
Yes. Yep. Brand in partnerships and influencer gifts, those kind of things.
Okay.
Yep.
I know one of the things I'm personally working on, especially with my YouTube channel, is like sponsorship deals and things like that. I know there's a lot of sponsorship opportunities with TikTok.
Yes.
And same with Instagram, really, but there's a lot of sponsorship opportunities. And I feel like there's a lot of value there for not a ton. I mean, yes, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but not a ton of work for some of these TikTok style videos.
Correct. And again, it depends on what you're using it for. If you have a business and you have someone that loves to create TikTok videos, go for it. As a
absolutely,
as a company that does social media for companies, it's a little bit harder for us because we're not on site to do those videos.
Gotcha. So, and I mean, a lot of it's user generated type style content anyway. So I mean, that's the thing, like going back to that influencer thing, like these people that are on these platforms, they know how to use those platforms to your advantage with your product, really, when it comes down to it. So, okay, Kim, that was a rapid fire look at some of these platforms.
Yes.
I really wish that we could spend way more time on each one of these. And, in the coming weeks, we'll have some other people on this show that will dive deeper into some of these things like LinkedIn. Next week, Instagram in a couple weeks. So make sure you come back for those Monday at noon to dive a little bit deeper into some of these topics. Now, Kim, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. This is your one thing. Okay, so if there's nothing else that anybody takes away from this whole conversation that we had, what's one thing that you want people to take away from this episode?
Find out where your audience is, and that's where you need to show up.
Okay. Find out where your audience is. that's where you need to show up.
Yep.
And put it out there.
Put it out there. Yes. Yeah. I committed last time that I was going to do it every day in October. And then I took a 10-day trip to Montana and had a 6-month-old puppy that was always in the background. And I shouldn't have let that stop me. Yeah. But it's reality. It did.
Well, I mean, there's moments that we need to step aside from some of this stuff sometimes, you know? So
yes,
but I love it. Yeah. I love the transparency.
Well, and you know, it's hard. I know it's hard to do the videos.
Now you did a few. What kind of things did you notice when you did those videos?
For one, I feel like I was like kind of geeky looking, whatever. People aren't looking at me. They're looking at my message.
Yeah. They
want to see what I'm teaching and training. So
100%.
Very much positive feedback, and people, what we think everybody should know, they don't.
Right.
That's what I'm learning, is that I can teach a simple Canva trick and people are like, or tip, and they're like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
In Canva.
And now here's one of the things that I've learned about, you know, some video content as well, is like, I'm not saying people are dumb, but like catering videos to, and you hear YouTube experts say this all the time, make your videos like you're talking at a 5th grade level.
Yes.
That's what, if whatever message you want to get across, like simple, workable things.
Right.
And it's not because the audience is dumb or stupid. It's just because we want information. Like if my washer breaks, and I've done this a couple times now, I go to YouTube to find how to fix my washer. Well, I resonate more with the simplest video where they're not using all this like slow, like these words that I don't understand. Industry language. That's what I was looking for. Industry language. Like it's simple, step-by-step process.
Correct. I could do a video on what kind of content you should be posting to LinkedIn or Instagram.
Yep.
But it's going to be better if I say, on Tuesdays, we recommend posting a testimonial. This is how we do it.
Excellent.
Simple.
So good. Well, Kim, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being on here.
Thank you so much. This has been fun.
Yeah. All right. I'm don't take this the wrong way, but I'm taking you off screen here.
That's fine. That's fine.
Thanks so much for being here, Kim. This is an awesome conversation, and give Kim a little clap in that chat there for being on the episode here. Now, I just want to toss these things up here as we finish this episode. Remember that tonight at 7 p.m., I've got this free online workshop. I put this link in the chat. I encourage you to go sign up for this. Check it out. It's kind of like this episode is going to be, you know, very, it's not going to go into a ton of depth, but it hopefully will just kind of like get you going on this YouTube journey if you are interested in doing anything like that. And then coming up on the future episodes here, we have Chuck Shaver, like I said, a LinkedIn expert. Will be talking about the LinkedIn video side of things. And then November 6th, Maddie Pashong, who is an Instagram expert, and we'll be talking and diving more into the Instagram video side of things. I'm excited for those couple episodes there. Well, thanks so much for jumping in the chat. For those of you who interacted, I appreciate that. And as always, thanks for watching. And I hope that I will see you next week as well on the Video Lab live stream.